Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today I thought I'd take a look at Easter. Now Easter, it's a Christian festival and also a cultural holiday in many places around the world, and it commemorates the resurrection of Jesus. Now, slight aside, the word holiday actually comes from Holy Day, which was a day of exemption from labour and recreation, and over time that evolved and morphed to become the holidays that we know. The English term for Easter, it's derived from the term Eostre. Now that's a Saxon spring festival, and it occurs in roughly the same date range. You know, when Christianity was coming in, it seemed to adopt and try to fetch in a lot of the existing rituals, and Easter or Eostre was one of them. Easter is preceded by Lent. Now Lent, that's a 40-day period of fasting and prayer. Lent itself begins on Ash Wednesday. The day before that, Shrove Tuesday, that was a feast day. People, they would attend church to confess their sins, and they were shriven, which means they'd been absolved of their sins. Taking another aside, the town where I grew up, that was called Scarborough, and it's in the United Kingdom. And there was a tradition on Shrove Tuesday, on the afternoon of Shrove Tuesday, people would go down to Foreshore Road. That's the road which runs along the South Bay beach of Scarborough, where people, they would stretch ropes across the road and then they would skip over it. And quite often you'd have multiple people skipping on the same rope at the same time. So Lent runs for 40 days and it ends in Easter week. Easter week starts on Palm Sunday, and this marks the entry of Jesus into Jerusalem. The week also includes Maundy Thursday, that remembers the Last Supper, and Good Friday, which is the crucifixion and the death of Jesus. In Orthodox churches, Easter is often referred to as Paschal. Now, I hope I pronounced that correctly. The fun thing about Easter is its date is movable. It changes, doesn't it, from year to year? It's calculated by using what's called a lunisolar calendar. So this is where it takes into account the solar year plus also the moon phases. Now, originally, the date of Easter, it was celebrated at different times around the world. Got quite confusing. So to try and standardise this, the First Council of Nicaea, that was held in the year 325 AD. And this, it specified two rules. The first was independence from the Hebrew calendar. The second was worldwide uniformity of the date. It actually didn't specify how the date was to be calculated. The rules for that, they were worked out over the following centuries. So the date now is calculated as the first Sunday after the ecclesiastical full moon that occurs on or after the 21st of March. Quite a mouthful that, isn't it? The ecclesiastical full moon, that comes in important because occasionally that can actually be different from the astronomical full moon. The reason for this is that full moon, it's on the 14th day of the ecclesiastical lunar month. And that's based on a calendar with months of either 29 or 30 days. The date, it's also linked to the Jewish Passover, as both the crucifixion and the resurrection, they took place during Passover. Western Christianity, they calculate the date based on the Gregorian calendar, whereas the Eastern Orthodox Christians, they actually use the Julian calendar. This seemingly small difference, well, that could have a large impact as there's a 13-day difference between the two calendars. In the Julian calendar, 21st of March is the equivalent of the 4th of April in the Gregorian calendar. The result is that Western Christians, Easter falls between the 22nd of March and the 25th of April. But for Eastern Orthodox Christians, Paschal falls between the 4th of April and the 8th of May. Some Oriental churches, they're now adopting that Gregorian calendar though. Now, around the world, there's many different customs, traditions and rituals associated with Easter. These include things like service times, Easter parades, communal dancing, and Easter egg hunts. We all love Easter eggs, don't we? Easter eggs, well, they're a well-known tradition. The egg, it's an ancient symbol of life and rebirth. And in Christianity, it became associated with the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus. The Easter egg itself, well, that originated in the early Christian community in Mesopotamia. There, what they would do is they would stain eggs red, and that was done in memory of the blood of Christ that was shed at his crucifixion. Many children around the world, well, they still colour and decorate hard-boiled eggs today, don't they? In the Eastern Orthodox Church, the eggs, well, they're put into a basket with other foods that are forbidden during Lent, and then they're blessed by a priest. In the Western world, well, Easter eggs now, they're often substituted for chocolate or maybe plastic eggs filled with candies or other treats. I know if I don't get my wife a big Easter egg each year, I get into mega trouble. This idea of the chocolate eggs or the sweets, well, it's thought to represent people giving up sweets during Lent. Then Easter, it allows them to start to enjoy them again. If we look back a little bit in history, Cadbury's, that chocolate manufacturing company, they started manufacturing chocolate Easter eggs in 1875, so they've been around for a while. Cadbury's still sponsor a number of Easter egg hunts at various locations in the UK. In the US, on Easter Monday, the US President hosts an Easter egg roll on the White House lawn for young children. The Easter Bunny, well, that's also a fairly recent tradition. It originated in Germany. The children, they would leave out empty baskets, and then the Easter Bunny would come along and fill them with candied eggs and other nice treats. Like most of my videos, I've enjoyed researching this one. And I love expanding what I know. And I also love challenging the facts that I think I know and really expanding on that. One of the facts that I can remember is that Easter was to do with the Synod of Whitby, where they fixed the date. Now, in my research, I haven't actually been able to confirm that. So that was quite interesting. Do you have any Easter traditions that you like to keep? Why don't you drop the details down below? Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.